All right, Michael's speech.
Okay, my name is Michael Vanderveer, and this is a speech about Nashville's growth and how it's affecting the locals. So Nashville has become one of the it cities in the country. People have really took a liking to its laid-back southern charm, its country music scene, and its diverse culture. Back in May, the Tennessean published an article written by Getting Word that said there are roughly 85 people moving to Nashville a day. Forbes has it listed as the 30th best place for business and careers. So Nashville is going through an exciting time with all the growth, but there are a few challenges that come along with this growth. And many of the challenges are affecting those who have lived in Nashville more than the residents moving in. So the problem is that it's just making it harder for the locals. James Nevchik says that over the next 20 years, there will be 1 million people to move into the Middle Tennessee area. That includes Davidson County and the surrounding counties such as Rutherford, Wilson, Sumner, Dixon, and things of those areas. So of these 1 million people, a lot of them are coming from places like New York and San Francisco where the cost of living is so much greater. They can move to Nashville, kind of get the same atmosphere, but the dollar goes much further when it comes to house, price per square foot, and things of that nature. So anytime a city's population is growing as fast as ours is, changes have to be made. But the difficulty of that is that when changes are made on such a large scale, people are affected, and it's not always good, it's sometimes bad. So, the growth that Nashville is currently experiencing, it's causing changes in the housing market, the traffic conditions, the job opportunities, and the tourism. And these affect, the cost of living has dramatically increased in the last few years. The current median price of a house now is $209,000. That's 13% higher than it was in 2015. So in 1 year, it's risen 13%. And two of the many reasons why this is happening is one, because there's just not any land left available to build new houses in the popular areas of the city and the surrounding suburbs. So the demand is much higher, and there's just not enough empty lots to put new houses, so it just creates a rise in the price. Also, are these investors that are coming in, because the market is so good, investors are coming in and buying up 5 houses, 6 houses, so that they can sublease those out and charge a premium for rent. Well, according to the Apartment List National Rent Report by Andrew Wu, Nashville has the 8th highest rent increase in the country. So our prices for renting are the 8th highest in the country. And that's a 5.5% increase over last year. So you have a 13% increase in the price of the homes, and you have a 6% increase in the cost of renting. And for many of the people that have been in Nashville for a long time who are looking to move or change areas, it's just making it that much tougher. Next to traffic conditions, we all know living here that they're just getting worse by the day. Back in March, Jen Todd, a writer for the Tennessean, wrote an article stating that according to the TomTom Traffic Index, Nashville is ranked the 19th worst traffic city in America. We have the 19th worst traffic conditions. And many of us would believe that it'd probably be the first, but they're saying 19th. Interstates, they're just not wide enough to hold all the cars that are coming into the city now. Driving to Murfreesboro and back. That's a 45-minute trip, no traffic, but sometimes it'll take you 2 hours just because there's just not enough room to get all the cars on at once. The next thing is the infrastructure of the roads is outdated. The traffic lights, the routing of going in through the city and out through the city, it's just not meant to have this many people. As well as construction, they're trying to make these changes, but construction causes just as much problems as anything else and can really slow, the commute to work or commute to friends or to family. It really slows it down. Next to job opportunities, it's just becoming more competitive. People who have had these local businesses, smaller businesses for 20 years, they're starting to lose good employees, or they can't find good employees because there's so many other businesses to compete with now, because a lot of people who are moving here are also bringing their businesses. So, it's hard to find the mom and pop shops anymore, as well as, just, and for those trying to find jobs, just like how the businesses are competing with other businesses, well, they're competing with other job candidates. There's 20,000 more job candidates to compete with. So the businesses here, they're reaching outward because they can, and it's just making it harder as well. And finally, the hotel prices. Tourism has, I think, been one of the biggest changes in Nashville. We all know from the development of Broadway and how popular that is, the country music scenes, the honky tonks, with the Predators being here, the Titans being here. It's really skyrocketed those hotel prices because there's just not enough rooms to accommodate everybody. In October, Jacob Skimmer, who is with the Nashville Business Journal, reported that Nashville's hotels are the most expensive in the country. That is more than it costs to stay at Times Square in New York. That is more than it costs to stay in Washington, D.C. That is more than it costs to stay in the Bay Area and San Francisco. Here in Nashville, we have the highest price of hotel rooms. And, that's hard on locals because, families, people who have families from outside the area who want to have their families come visit, well, maybe sometimes they can only just come once a year now because paying $400 a night for a hotel room that used to cost them $100, it's hard to justify that. So it's really impacted those that have lived here for a long time. So all these things are making it harder for, native Nashvillians, and it's making it difficult for those types of people to want to stay and really in Nashville for longer periods of time if these challenges aren't dealt with. So, there are some solutions to try and regulate the housing market to, increase road conditions and traffic conditions and bring these hotel prices down. With the housing market, maybe you have to make people live in the home for 5 to 10 years before they can sublease it out, so that people just don't buy the home, flip it, and start renting it for twice the amount of mortgage it costs. Or limit, put a limit on the properties that they're allowed to have to rent out. And then for traffic, would be build a mass transit system, like, model it after Chicago or Atlanta. And in fact, Joey Garrison of the Tennessean recently stated that the leaders of Middle Tennessee, they have approved a $6 billion mass transit system. So hopefully one day that, we can see that happen, because we all know that it's much needed here. And last thing, keep building the hotels, because until we have enough rooms, with the convention center, it's not like that the businesses are going to stop coming. We just have to be able to meet to the demand, so that people who are coming here for friends and family purposes and not just for a business trip can afford to come and see loved ones and spend some time over the holidays. So many of these solutions, would not only benefit current residents, but future ones as well. And ultimately, the people are what make a city. And until the challenges that this rapid growth is producing are met, it's just going to make it harder and harder for the local Nashville natives want to stay. So hopefully we'll see that in the future, and thank you for your time.